Hello there, my tribe. Yes, it is me. And we're doing things a little differently. I'm experimenting with a different microphone placement. And if you haven't been to my site recently, then you will notice that things are a little different. Because for the last 6 months to a year, I had literally hundreds of apps to try and compile, and some were within my skill set to compile and others were not. But that well is starting to dry up. It's becoming a little more slowly. I can now only do things that are new on the market. And that's fine. But now the emphasis moves to updates. And if you have a look here, then at the bottom of the page, here, these are recent additions. And you start to see that there's a couple of days now between new additions. So this used to be the long list. I kept this to about 20 items. Now that's going to shrink to 10, and on the other hand, recent updates, that's the one that's now going to be a bit longer. Also, I have given some love to Be Sly and Fat Elk, and I will continue to do that. But I'm also going to occasionally, just occasionally, just take another look at new, updated, or just significant apps on my own site. Now, if you're new here, you may be wondering, why didn't he just make a repo like everybody else? Because most of the apps that I've compiled are old. They are 3, 6, 9, 12 years old. They haven't been updated in all that time, and I can still get them to run. In fact, the older apps are easier. Don't tell anybody. But, what's the point of having a repo? A repo is for things that churn constantly. I mean, once one of these is on your system, it'll hopefully just keep running. So we're going to talk about 3 updates and 1 new app today. Right, so the 3 updates are all Java apps. Now, I have standardized this on OpenJDK 21. Now, there are higher numbers available, up to 24, but 21 I've found is quite stable, and the higher ones, not necessarily. That's just my experience. Just feel free to tell me in the comments below how wrong I am. Right, so we have a look at system packages. Right. Let's make this a bit. Right. There it is. So this is the one you actually install. OpenJDK21 underscore default. Now you may see another one there, OpenJDK8. And that sounds, why is it ancient? Because that is the actual package that the few the Java apps in the Haiku repository, the Haiku ports repository, are compiled against. So if you see it there, don't touch it. Otherwise, yes, you can have several versions of Java on your system. You can have only one OpenJDK number underscore default. But you can have OpenJDK 22, 23, 24, and you can have 20, 19, you can have all of them. For the average user, I'd advise against it. So if you see OpenJDK 8 installed, that is for the actual applications that you get from Haiku Depot, and most of mine might run against that because I package them very simply. I just tell them look for a Java command, and I don't specify which version it has to be. See, but I suggest you just install this one with either the app or from the command line, and then all that Java goodness will be ready for you. Okay, enough talk. Let's have a look at the applications. So, JPhoto Tagger is available in English or German. Now, if there were more languages, I would have to make another plan, have a little dialogue to choose between the languages, but there's only two, so I thought, not the end of the world. And there it is. Right, and that is an application to organize your image files. Now, as it happens, I've had to redo this VM, so I don't actually have any image files on here at the moment. So excuse me while I go fetch a couple. Went to Wikimedia Commons quickly, and I downloaded some stuff. Right, let's just expand this, and let's see, go to Home, Desktop, Documents, Images. And there we go. That one will not display for some reason, but if we double click it, then there was an error there, nothing serious, but let's see, identify. Let's have a look at what's going on there. Why is that identified as an HTML. Ah, because it is an HTML. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Don't worry, we'll just delete that. Now, if we go up here and back to images, there we go. Okay, so now you can pick a picture and you can start putting in let's see. The program's a bit slow. There we go. You can put in all nice tags. Of course, these are not Haiku extended attributes. They are an older version that sort of gets embedded into the graphic itself. Alright, what else can we say about this? And I have lost my mouse. That's the problem with VMs. Java programs really run slow in them, and sometimes they crash the system. All these programs run a lot faster on a real machine. Alright, what was the next one I wanted to show you? Night vision. Okay, the package is actually called NVJ. I'm just following their own convention. And as you can see, it's got a lot of data to digest. So, this is a desktop planetarium. So, first you have to say, where am I? So, where shall we go to today to watch the star? How about the North Pole? Now with your mouse you can drag this around. You can Okay, I don't know if you can read this, but yeah, Ursa Major. You can read the names of the constellation and you can click on any star. Right click, and get information on it. All right. Set stars. What can we say? Okay. Let's see more of them. Whoa, too many. Okay, then there is a way to zoom in. Haven't quite gotten the hang of that yet. Ah, there it is. This one's name is Z-Ban. I think this is a good place to get the name for your new rock band. What's this one? 5 UMI. That's not a very... So as you can see, this is, in fact, quite an interesting program if you're into astronomy. And I'm not going to go into all the things you can set and all the changes you can make, but have fun with it. Okay, then let's see where Project Libre. Sorry, you just gotta say that with a Spanish accent. Project Libre. I have now lost my entire Spanish and Latin American audience. Close this. Open a project. And I've created one. There we go. Right, so this is a project to make Gantt charts. Where you divide a task up into little subtasks and schedule each of them and decide who has to do what and where. Right, so I've got 3 little tasks here. Right, make video about Project Libre, post video to YouTube, and bask in fan adulation. Okay, but of course it's quite possible that fan adulation won't last that long, so I can make it shorter, and then it'll change here as well. Right, or I can say, well, the adulation will start earlier, and I should be able to move it up there. I believe we do have apps on the repo to do the same thing that I haven't gotten around to yet. But this is quite a popular program, actually. It's available in all kinds of operating systems, so you can develop something on Windows and move it across to your Haiku setup. And look, I'll be honest with you, this is not my kind of program. I'm more intuitive organizer. But it's good for if you're working with teams of people. And you can have massive, let's see, we can hide this to the side so that you can read, you can do all the usual sort of things, right? And if you double click, there we go. Duration 2 days, that's a bit long, isn't it? Let's say 1 day. And if we look back at the graphical, yep, it has shrunk. But let's just see if we can just move that up let's say 3 days. There we go. Now we should be able to move it over there and make it a bit longer. And then you can make relations between these two, you know, which has to be done before you can move on to the other one, who's going to do it, what resources will be used in it, all that sort of thing. You know, I retired to get away from this stuff. No, I'm not going to change it. Thank you. I am going to delete this project now. Bye-bye. Libre, Project Libre. It's been nice knowing you. But maybe one of you needs something like that. I have found it can crash in this Haiku environment. Make sure you're not trying to save your file to a read-only location, and just save it often. The one thing I haven't found in LibreOffice is a general settings facility. You know, I mean, the time settings is AM, PM. I prefer 24 hours myself. But okay, it is what it is. Okay, last but not least is a new entry onto my site, but it's a GTK app, but you have to start it from the command line. And it's called GX Message. Let's see. Oh, took its time. All right. Okay, let's find a text file. Something called README. Ah, okay. This one will do. There. So you can display files and it automatically gives you or you can just specify a message of your own on the command line. You can have more than one button. All right, let's see. You can open the window near the mouse pointer. Right, you can time out after a number of seconds and close down. Right, you can specify the geometry. I just let it choose for itself. So there's quite a few options here that you can use to, you know, display your apps. Help file, you know, or cancel, sorry. right? You can have your own message up here. And so I think this is a useful little thing. I know. We've got, what's it called again? We've got Zenity clone. It escapes me now. Right, we've got similar packages that can also do that. But maybe this is the one that will work for you. Shanty, that's the one I'm thinking of. Right, and there was another one. Haven't used it for a while, so. Is it called H message? Let's see. H dialogue, that's the one I'm thinking of. It can also do this, but it's got a different set of possibilities, and this one is in fact quite interesting. You can very much specify what the thing has to look like, how many buttons, what's on the buttons, not just OK and cancel. And so have fun with GX Message. Okay, I'll put links to all of these in the show notes, description down there. It's funny, on YouTube always people always say, click the link up there. And on my systems, that little window there doesn't always show up. So I think I'd rather just be old-fashioned and say, read my show notes. Okay, that's it for our first look at what's new and updated in Michelle's Haiku site. I'll have to think of something catchier before I put up this video. Thanks for watching.